Hey, crypto family. Hope y'all been doing good. Sorry for the wait. I've been away for about a month. I've been on vacation, so feels good to be back. Looking today, Bitcoin is actually up over 4% to $12,245. So we're going to talk about that in a second. But first, looking at a couple of the altcoins, Ethereum seems to be performing pretty well, up 1.6% to $235. And then the rest of the altcoins, again, are up or down a couple percent as well. So really, not many altcoins standing out today. Again, mostly the spotlight is on Bitcoin. So looking at Bitcoin here, I pulled up a 4-hour chart. You can see right now that this $11,800 level is the major support right now for Bitcoin. You can see it was hard resistance back in July 12th. It provided resistance, and now that we've passed that, it is that support. So that's going to be that first layer of support we're looking for. If we cannot hold that, then we're going to start looking towards this $11,000 level and potentially this 10,600, which does coincide with the 200-day moving average. So looking at the RSI is pretty overbought. So right now we're going to look possibly have a pullback to this 11,800 level and then retest for the next resistance. The next major resistance is looking at about $13,000. So you can see here is 13,000. I'll go ahead and zoom out on the daily chart as well. There's a few more lines here, so ignore most of these down here. But you can see twice it came up to this 13,000 and it went above it, but it could not close above it on the daily. So this was June 26th when it had that sharp run up. So again, we're looking also here, July 10th, it could not close above it. And now we're looking again, can it close above it this third time for this next run up? So again, we're gonna have to look, but on the daily chart, the RSI still has some room to be overbought. So it's not really too overbought right now. You can see back in June, it was very overbought when we went to a high of 14,000. So still a lot of room to run. But the thing I'm curious about right now is if you look at the longs versus shorts here, you can see longs are at 26,000 longs versus shorts, which are only 8,000. Now, I can't remember a time when shorts and longs had this much space between them. Longs were above shorts that much. Now, you can see here back in April, shorts were above longs for quite a bit, and then we had this sharp run up due to a short squeeze. So, kind of worries me that longs have been this high versus shorts. Now, again, we could continue to have a run up, but this does beg the question, are shorts going to start increasing and pull Bitcoin back down? You can see this last time here that whenever longs were above the shorts, then we started to have a decline here in the beginning of July. So are we going to have this again as we get this rejection of 13,000, or are we going to break 13,000? So that's what I'm looking at right now. Again, good spot to be in so far. Just going to watch this 11,800 level, see if we can hold that and continue upward. But a couple articles I want to go over. The first one is just talks about the Dow Jones and how the stock market actually plunged 760 points for their worst day of 2019 as the trade war intensifies. So this was more towards China. Basically, China was devaluing their currency, and President Trump of the United States said that China is just a manipulator of their currency. And funny enough, the next day, says Dow Jones futures turn higher as China firms want exchange rate after, quote, currency manipulator tag. So China doesn't want to be tagged as that. So again, they're looking to firm up the yuan right now. Sorry, the yen. But again, it's the biggest thing I want to bring home is people looking to Bitcoin as a safe haven. So when the Dow plunged 760 points, you saw Bitcoin start to have this rise here. I look at the 4-hour chart and you can see, again, Bitcoin started to rise as all this was going on, and people are starting to see Bitcoin as more of that digital gold and more of an investment to hedge against inflation and just all the manipulation going on with the currency and the fiat. So one thing to keep in mind when you are investing in Bitcoin is a lot of people are starting to look at it as that safe haven. So interesting to see, and interested to see if we do have more uncertainty in the future with fiat, if Bitcoin continues to rise due to that. And then second article I want to cover is Litecoin, the halving. So as many of you know, Litecoin had its halving yesterday, and the price actually rose a little bit when that happened. You can see here, I'll pull up the Litecoin chart. is it did rise to over $100. So you can see here it had a sharp rise from $95 all the way to $104. So it had a nice little rise there, about 10%, but then it came, crashing down, and right now it's about 97. So it just had a little pullback there. But for those of you who don't know what the halving was, is basically it halves the number of rewards that miners can get. So it says, quote, for this halving, the miner reward for every block has been reduced from the previous 25 Litecoin to 12.5 Litecoin. And it says, since early this year, Litecoin's price has seen significant uptick from around $30 in January to as much as $120 in June. And it says, in line with the price increase ahead of the anticipated halving event, hash rate computing on the Litecoin network and the mining difficulty have both jumped by 200% since the end of December 2019. So again, a lot of people argue that halvings are positive because the supply gets even more limited because the rewards that miners get are halved. So again, there's not as much Litecoin being produced. So that's another reason why people, also people are excited for the Bitcoin halving that's going to happen next year. So again, just something to keep in mind, ahead of having announcements, a lot of people do like to buy the coin in anticipation of that. And not more times than not, the coin will rise. But in Litecoin's case, it stopped its rise about a month prior. So there wasn't too much. It had this spike here in July, but then since then it kind of hovered around that $100 mark. So just keep that in mind. A little less than a month prior, the returns start diminishing. So again, when you're thinking about buying ahead of time, just look for those announcements and those different news articles that can help the coin rise. So with that, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and please, if you did, give the video a like. And again, it feels good to be back, and hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will keep you updated with the latest news articles as I get them. So until next time, thanks for watching.